Hello everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last time we managed to finally land the Hesperus intact on Eve, and it would be ready to start its refueling operation, able to take off again and come back. But I forgot to put an ore pod on it, so there's nowhere for the ore to be stored for processing. So it's stuck there until we send a rescue mission. But for a rescue mission, I do have something in mind, because I'm going to need to send an engineer out there as part of the problem, because one way or the other, I'm going to need to bolt stuff on. I'm either going to need to bolt a ore pod onto the Hesperus so that it can begin, or I'm going to need to use the fuel pods, fuel cables, which I'm probably planning on doing, in order to connect the two things together. All of those require an engineer. Engineer do EVA things. The problem being that I could just send another Hesperus, but trying to land another Hesperus class right next to that one is effectively impossible for me. So it's going to need to be a rover, and I don't really just want to abandon one of my engineers on Eve. But I have been looking at other YouTube videos, and in particular looking at helicopters, and so I'm going to make a rescue mission that primary purpose is going to be to go to Eve, refuel the Hesperus, or give it the opportunity to refuel itself. But then, importantly, it is going to try to take off again, see if I can get a capsule into Eve orbit. So, first things first, I need to try and design the return capsule, and I'm going to try and use a helicopter that's able to be folded up, unfold once it reaches Eve, take off, get out of the thick atmosphere, and then use a rocket for the last little bit. And obviously carry the ore pod and everything else it needs to refuel the Hesperus. So let's give it a go. Okay, so I've put together a design, never worked with helicopters before, so just going to give this a quick try run before I make some improvements. It does have 3,000, actually has 4,500 delta V, so hopefully that section will be enough. The initial test is going to be completely unmanned because I have no idea how this thing's going to go. Oh, well, the gears are not stable. I forgot to strut it. Okay, good to know. Okay, with some struts, let's give that another go. Okay, that's much better. So I may need to look into how to actually get these to work. Okay, after some fiddling, I've got that working. It was because I had the brakes on. The brakes applies brakes to the helicopter blades as well. It's spinning. I don't know if it's providing any lift, but it's spinning. Okay, so I've got the thing spinning, but no matter what angle I'm putting this at, I get next to no lift on these. Try positive. Oh, I'm getting some lift there. Or I was. Then I ran out of electric charge. Right, that's fine. Yeah, it's just being a bit weird. I don't really understand this. No matter what the deployed angle is, it's just producing negative lift. Yeah, because its angle of attack is always 0. Ah, right. It just wasn't deployed. I now have a helicopter that kind of moves, kind of insanely, because of various things. Yep, so I'm definitely going to build a counter-rotating thing, but I'm happy that I've just got this thing in the air. That is definitely a start. Yep, it got destroyed, but that's what I was kind of expecting. Still, basic concept is there. Our first attempt to put 2 blades on it has gone very Kerbal-y. There we go. Taken off. Shoot. Yep. Forgot the solar panels. Yeah, it's this time remembering the solar panels. There we go, we have liftoff. I forgot to turn SAS on. So we have very unstable liftoff. And off it goes. Okay, solar panels and SAS, both important. Okay, solar panels out, SAS on. Rotors to neutral. Engage. And increase the cyclic. There we go. We are up. We have a working helicopter-ish. And bring it down for a landing. Okay, the landing gear is not sufficient to hold this. If it can't hold it on Kerbal, it's definitely not going to hold it on Eve. Still, the rotor assembly is okay for now. I was trying to be a bit clever with the landing gear, have it so that it can deploy, but doesn't seem like that's going to be strong enough. We've got SAS again, we've got solar panels, just did that in completely the wrong order. There we go, we are up. Yay. Trying to bring it in for a landing now. There we go. Okay, it can take off, it can land. Now for part 2, I'm going to see exactly how good we can get this just going straight up. So on the actual run, I'm going to decouple the lower section once it's done its job. So you can do that now once I'm just off to the side of it. We don't need that anymore. Not sure why the engine seemed to have stopped producing lift. To a kilometre. Just needs... Very careful, it's not the most stable thing. Again, I'm losing... We are getting lift, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Not quite sure what happened there. Definitely need some tweaking. Okay, so after looking into it a little bit, I've realised one of the big things I've not been doing is I really should be using this Cal 1000 controller. Okay, so gonna give this a go. I've got they're inverted, so this is probably going to not go great. Oh shit, Shaftal's in it. Gonna get Shaftal out of this. So I'm playing this on a different day from before. I don't want Shaftal to die. Okay. Seems to be going well. Okay, so with this I have a airspeed of about 80 meters per second. Pretty stable. Fairly slow, but not unbearably slow. Power is holding out infinitely. Sorry, the 80 meters per second was the speed of the propellers, not the speed of the craft. The craft's doing 12. And we're 5 kilometers up and we're still going pretty strong. It's stable enough that it can sort of be flown with time warp. Okay, looks like I'm starting to top out here, just over 7 kilometers high. Gonna drop the bottom stage. This may cause some instability though. Now we're losing altitude now, so drop the top stage and ignite. I thought this was a swivel engine. Nope, I put the wrong engine on. So I don't have enough authority. Okay, good. This is why I'm testing it. There we go. Gentle vertical touchdown. Okay, so a couple of changes I want to make. first is getting the engine sorted. Really want the swivel engine there. Also add another inline reaction control system there. So I've also put more propeller on to see what that does. Okay, possibly need some strutting since that was wobbling about a bit. Okay, something's definitely gone wrong there. Okay, definitely something weird going on here. Yeah, I've definitely messed up quite a bit of this. Right. Come to the conclusion that I'm not sure my previous one should have been working the way it was, because my new attempt doesn't really seem to be functioning at all. There we go, now I definitely have both blades turning. Oop, I should have had SAS on. Okay, I'm not convinced that both of these are functioning correctly. They might both be turning the same direction. Okay, so now definitely both spinning in opposite directions, so that should be fine. Don't know quite what's gone wrong here, it just seems a lot less stable than it used to be. It was working okay, then I tried doubling the rotors, then I tried putting them back, and everything is now just wrong. I'm now having power problems. I'm pretty sure last time only one of my motors was actually turning on. Yeah, I've got my head around what went wrong last time, or what went right last time, is I had actually set up a decent drive chain system. The top motor was the only one that was turning on my original two-blade version. The bottom one was just freewheeling, so as the top one was turning, it was splitting its power, spinning the two in opposite directions. I'm just going to start rebuilding that with smaller propellers to see how that goes. Smaller motor even. Okay, just checking that I do have this aligned the right way so they do take off. Okay, so after some messing about, I've got that working. So this is the same kind of drivetrain as before, just with two smaller ones. And see how the pickup goes with these smaller ones. Always forget to put SAS on for some reason. With SAS, this is pretty stable. It's only a problem, even with this thing, with the angle at 0, it is actually struggling to go down. Which I suppose is a good problem to have. I can just direct it down by flying it like a plane. Not a very clean landing. Okay, so we're definitely getting somewhere. I do need to... Okay, it is attached. Don't know why it was bobbing up and down quite so much. Yeah, this is weird because I've duplicated the main rotors, put them on the bottom rotors. Should all be fine, but the bottom rotor, only one of them's turning, the other one isn't. I'm really getting confused here because I've set these up identically. Well, I unlocked it and it yeeted it over there. That's something. Yeah, this is just weird. Because this is... I recopied it. This is an identical copy to the previous version. One's working, one's not. Okay, so I can get it to work when they're in two different places. Okay, I've actually managed to get it to have a four-bladed propeller system working. Okay, this design is not going to work because I can't rotate the blades around these servo motors. So I get everything spinning fine, I just can't then make use of the spinning propellers. Okay, after a lot of fiddling I seem to have something that's possibly working. Have lift. Yeah, getting a nice steady 17 meters per second here. Yeah, the 4-blade version doesn't seem as stable. I might try rebalancing some things. It's a little bit faster. Hopefully I'll be able to... Oh, just run out of battery. The solar panel's not working. Oh god, there was a solar eclipse. Oh no, okay, right, time to test the other part then. Oh, I've lost all battery power because this is a probe core thing. Oh my god, the solar eclipse killed us. Okay. Oh, I think that's a good enough place to leave that for this week. We do have a semi-functional helicopter now. I think next week I'm going to do some finishing touches, just adjust the balance and so on. And then we're going to strap this thing to a rocket and see if it can do its job. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you are amused as I am that we got destroyed because of a solar eclipse. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else. Cheers.